Be ready to.
It's recording. It's okay, we haven't started yet.
Hi, Miss Natalie. How are you doing
Hi,
today?
Felicia. I'm doing good.
That's great. It's good to see you on this week.
Thank you. It's good to see you too.
Yes. So Miss Natalie, how have you been doing throughout this week? I know last week you were a bit stressed. So how has your stress levels been throughout this week? And 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest.
Well, I haven't been really good. I felt really stressed. I think I would put myself at an 8.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Natalie, that's a bit high. Like, what's been going on?
I had a lot. I have a lot going on at school. That's what I'm mostly stressed out about. I'm overloaded. I'm taking more credits than I'm supposed to, but it's so I can graduate on time.
Mm-hmm.
So there's all this extra projects and extra things, and then with work and everything, it's a lot, and I'm really really overwhelmed.
So yes, I'm hearing that you're just overwhelmed because of the schoolwork, and you're talking about work, and you just want to graduate on time,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just all coming in at once.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I do remember from last week you were saying that your stress level was at a 9, so
Mm-hmm.
it's actually gone down.
So yeah,
Just-
just 1 point.
Just the
Yeah.
1 point, but hey, we gotta
Mhm.
celebrate the small
Okay.
beginnings. So, but we'll be able to talk more about what has been going on through this week throughout the session.
Okay.
Okay. So I do want to give you the agenda. That way we'll be able to stay on track. I'll be able to stay on track, and so will you,
Mhm.
and you'll know what to expect.
Okay.
So on the agenda, what we're going to do is an update. You're going to
Alright.
update me on your week, how you've been, what things have been going on, any new things. Then we'll review the homework that I gave you from last week. You
Okay.
remember you did the thought record?
Yeah.
So you'll tell me about how that went, if it worked out for you, if it didn't work out for you.
Mhm.
Then we're going to prioritize the agenda.
Alright.
And that's basically, you're just going to tell me what's been going on with you. And then what we'll do is work on that problem after you prioritized it.
Okay.
Then, after we've done that, we'll go over new homework.
Mhm.
I know you got a lot of homework from school,
Yeah.
but we'll get some new homework going on. And then I'll just give you summary and feedback.
Okay.
I did want to ask you, you were saying a lot of negative things happened on this week, but tell me one positive thing that happened with you this week.
I got some praise at work. I got a $10 gift card because I got Employee of the Month, so that was cool.
Good.
Yeah.
You can do a lot with $10 today, I'm telling you.
It's a Walmart gift card, so that's nice.
Good. Well, hey, that's awesome. Okay, so kind of give me an update. What happened with you on this week?
I guess more specifically, I just had, like I said, I'm overloaded, so I had a lot of projects due at one time, and I feel like I don't have enough time to work on them. So I'm really stressed, and my time, like I don't have enough time to sleep or eat, and I feel like I'm not giving 100% to each of the different projects that I have to do because my time is spread so thin, and that really stresses me out.
Yeah.
That I'm not gonna get a good grade on them.
So, so during this week, were you able to write those thoughts down on your homework when these things were happening with you during the week?
I did a couple of times, but I couldn't figure out when would be the best time to write my thought record, or like how many thoughts I should include. So I think I wrote 2 down, but I didn't write a lot.
Is that your homework right
Yeah,
there?
here it is.
Can I see it?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Did you ever forget throughout the day to write down your thoughts?
It wasn't that I forgot. I mean, like, I wrote them down on
Mhm.
different, like, stickies throughout the day, or I, like, texted myself something. So it's just not all on one piece of paper. It's
Okay.
very scattered, but
Okay.
I did have some thoughts.
So can you give me a specific day? Looks here on Wednesday was something serious going on. What happened on Wednesday?
Wednesday was a really tough day because I had one of my projects due, and it's, you wouldn't think it, but the ceramics class that I'm taking is the absolute most stressful thing in the world because I'm terrible at ceramics and art, but I have to get this class to graduate, and it's one of the last courses that I need, and it was the only class that I could take, and my final project was due, which I had to make all of these different pottery pieces, and I had just finished this casserole dish, and I dropped it, and I just was so consumed with the thought that this was it, like that was the end for me in this class, and I wasn't gonna graduate because I dropped that, and I was gonna fail, and I wasn't gonna graduate.
Oh, and that was your thought.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, we're gonna go into prioritizing the agenda.
Okay.
What are some problems that you would like to work on through this session? And really, we're only gonna have time to work on one problem.
Okay.
Because I just really want to thoroughly work on that one problem.
All right.
And then the next session, we can work on the other problem. So, what is it, what are 2 problems that you're dealing with?
Well, about thinking that I'm gonna fail
Yeah.
and not graduate.
I'm gonna write things down,
Okay.
is that okay?
Mhm.
Going to fail.
And then I guess I'm just really overwhelmed with the rest of my classes and stuff.
Just overwhelmed.
Mhm.
Okay, so what I'm getting is your first problem is that you're going to fail and not graduate.
Yeah.
And the second problem is that you're just overwhelmed with school in general.
Mhm.
Okay, so which problem would you like to work on today?
The first one.
Okay, that you're going to fail and not graduate.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So, let's go back this week. Now, when you had this thought that I'm going to fail, I'm not going to graduate, can you go back to that week and just tell me about it again?
Yeah, so like I said, I was in ceramics class and
Mhm.
finishing up my last projects because we're gonna get graded on everything. And I had actually made a really good casserole dish, and I was gonna go set it down to dry, so that it could be put in the oven or whatever. And it just, someone bumped into me and I dropped it, and it's clay. It was completely ruined. It was completely ruined, and the clock was ticking. It was about time for the class to end, and I couldn't stay and do it, so I was like, this is it. I'm not gonna graduate because this is the last class I needed.
And your thought was that
I'm not gonna graduate.
you're not going to
Yeah.
graduate. Okay, so did anything physical happen during this time?
I started shaking and my eyes welled up, but I didn't let myself cry in front of everybody, but I felt like the tears behind my eyes.
And so what images went through your mind during this time?
I was just, I don't know, just thinking that I wasn't gonna get to go in my cap and gown, and my family wasn't gonna come, and that's all I was thinking.
How much did you believe this thought at this time? If I was to give you a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest that you feel that you're going to fail, and 10 being the highest that I'm going to fail, how would you rate that?
Oh, a 10. I really did believe that I was going to not be able to graduate and I was going to fail this class.
What emotions did you feel during this time?
I was stressed. I was, and honestly a little bit angry that I dropped it.
Okay. And, I'm seeing that you're having some cognitive distortion.
Okay.
And what a cognitive distortion is that your mind is convincing you that the thoughts that you're having are true.
Okay.
And I just want to point that out because many times when we're depressed, and depression really works with the CBT model. Many times when we're depressed, we start thinking thoughts and we think negative thoughts. And when we think negative thoughts, then we become depressed. And so what I'm saying that's coming from you is these cognitive distortions, and you're just having these negative thoughts in your head, these automatic thoughts, and then you're believing them to be true. So I'm going to ask you a couple more questions. Let's see. What is the evidence that you're going to fail? What evidence do you have that states that you're going to fail?
Well, that I didn't have that I dropped it. You know.
Okay. Now, what is an alternative explanation of this?
What do you mean?
Like, what else could happen? Like, either you will fail or either you're not. So, what is the alternative of you not failing?
That I'll pass.
That you'll pass. Okay. So, what is the worst thing that can happen?
That I'm gonna fail and I'm not gonna graduate.
Okay. Would you be able to live through that?
I mean, yeah. I'm not suicidal, so yeah.
Okay, so you're not having any suicidal ideations?
No.
No visual hallucinations?
No.
Oh, good. Now, what is the best thing that could happen?
That I pass this class, I'm gonna graduate, and I can be done with my undergrad.
Okay, so that's the best thing. Now, what's realistic?
I'm gonna pass the class, but I'm not gonna get an A like I wanted.
Okay, that's realistic. Good. And would you be able to live with not having an A?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's think about this more deeply. What if you had a friend and they were going through this same problem? What would you tell them?
I would tell them to ask the teacher if they could have an extension because, you know, it wasn't their fault. They had it done, but it broke. So maybe the teacher could give them an extra day to try and do it again, especially since the lab was closing. And maybe they could come in the morning and work on it, something like that.
Yeah, because things happen, you know, and that would be a good thing to do.
And also I would tell her that one class, not getting an A, is not going to ruin her GPA, so that she should just relax.
Right. Okay, so let's go back to the thought. How much do you believe your automatic thought now that you're going to fail?
I guess now, I mean, I don't. It's more like a 3 now. I don't think I'm gonna fail.
Oh, good. You went down a lot because you were at a 10 and now you're at a 3. Now, what emotions are you feeling now?
Right now, I'm relieved. I feel more relieved because this is I just made this into a huge thing, and I realized how ridiculous that was. I feel more relieved and yeah, less stressed for sure.
Okay. So throughout the week, what are you going to do when you have these depressing thoughts?
I'm just gonna remember this moment, this feeling that I have right now. I'm gonna remember this so I can have it again.
Good, good. Okay, well that's good. Well, we went over all that. So now I'm going to give you a new set of homework to do throughout the week, and hopefully it will help you. So we did the thought record on last week, and I know that you mentioned that you had so many thoughts and you didn't know when you wanted me to write down the thoughts.
Yeah.
So what do you think is measurable for you to do for homework?
Well, because I just have so many things going on, I have a lot of things to do, I need to, like, for me, I need, like, a set amount of times that I'm going to do something, because if not, I'll put it off, or it'll be very scattered. So I think just being able to write down, like, maybe, like, 4 thoughts,
Okay.
I could do that.
Okay, so you're going to write down 4 thoughts, and whenever you're feeling depressed, you're going to write down your 4 thoughts.
Yeah.
Okay. I also want to extend this homework to make it more meaningful to you, because homework is very important.
Yeah.
And really, I don't like to call it homework. I like to call it brain training, because this homework is so important. It's training your mind to think in a different way, and that's all what CBT is about, is altering your way of thinking. So whenever you have a negative thought, what I want you to do is write down something that is more positive, that's more realistic.
Okay.
So, and really, if you're going by this, it has on here the most realistic outcome. So I want you to write down, it says what's the best that could happen and what's the most realistic outcome.
Okay.
And so then that should be able to make you feel a whole lot better about your automatic thoughts.
Okay.
Okay. Good. So 4 times a day. All right. So I'm going to give you an overview of what all we did on today, because we did so much, Miss Natalie. So what we did was we went over the agenda. We got ourselves on track with what we were going to do today. You gave me an update. You're just so busy, so stressed out with schoolwork, your job. We went over your homework. Yeah. You said that you had just a little problems, but not much. Yeah. But you got through it, and you did your homework. We prioritized the agenda, and you had 2 problems. One of your problems was you felt like you were going to fail, you weren't going to graduate, and then you're just so overwhelmed with school in general. But we stuck with just that one problem, with that you're going to fail. And we went over cognitive distortions. You know what that is. The CBT model, altering your way of thinking. And you found out that, the most realistic thing is you are going to graduate, and you can graduate. So is there anything today that you feel that I left out? Or?
No, I think we talked about everything. We talked about what I was most stressed about, so that was really good.
Okay. So, well, I'm glad that you got something good out of it on today. And I just can't wait to see y'all next week.
Thank you very much, Miss Felicia.
All right. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Bye.